Think about this moment. You are 66 years old. You have worked for 41 years. You raised children, paid taxes, showed up when it was hard, and did everything the world told you to do. Today is the day you finally sit down with a financial advisor to talk about retirement. She opens your file. She looks at the screen. Then she looks at you, not with confidence, with something closer to careful sympathy. The number on the screen is $91,000. That is everything. Every account, every dollar saved across 4 decades of work. Your Social Security will add roughly $1,900 a month. Combined with drawing down your savings, you will have approximately $2,200 monthly to cover rent or mortgage, food, healthcare, transportation, and everything else life costs. You start doing math you never wanted to do. Can I stay in my home? Will I need to ask my children for help? What happens in year 15 when the savings are gone? Here's the part that should stop you cold. This is not a worst-case scenario. This is the median. Half of all Americans approaching retirement have less than this. Many have nothing at all. My name is Woof, and today I want to show you exactly how this happens, why it keeps happening, and what the people who escape this outcome actually do differently. Every 3 years, the Federal Reserve publishes a survey of consumer finances. It is the most detailed picture of American household wealth that exists. The numbers are not what most people expect. For households where the primary earner is between 55 and 64, the median retirement savings sits at approximately $134,000. That means half of all households in their final working decade have less than that. Many have dramatically less. For households already in retirement, aged 65 to 74, the median falls to around $88,000. Savings get spent down in early retirement while Social Security and any remaining pension income take over. But here's where the data becomes genuinely alarming. The average or mean retirement savings is reported at around $400,000. That number sounds almost reassuring. It is not. When the mean is $400,000 and the median is $88,000, that gap tells you one thing clearly. A small number of very wealthy households are pulling the average upward, while the majority of people have almost nothing. The bottom half of households aged 55 to 64 have effectively zero retirement savings. Not low savings, zero. They will retire entirely on Social Security, family support, or by simply never stopping work. That is the real picture, not the one in the advertisements. Let me translate those statistics into what they actually mean on a Tuesday morning in retirement. Someone retiring with $88,000 in savings using the standard 4% annual withdrawal rate can pull approximately $292 per month from their portfolio. Add the average Social Security benefit of $1,900 monthly, and total retirement income reaches roughly $2,192 per month. That is $26,300 per year to cover everything. The federal poverty line for a single adult is approximately $15,000 annually. So the median retiree is not officially impoverished, but they are one car repair away from crisis, one medical bill away from choosing between prescriptions and groceries, one appliance failure away from credit card debt they cannot repay. This is not the retirement that 41 years of work was supposed to produce. And here is what makes it worse. The people retiring today with these numbers actually had advantages that younger generations will not. Many had defined benefit pensions that guaranteed income for life. Many bought homes when housing was affordable relative to wages. Many had stable, long-term employment with a single employer. The generation behind them faces higher housing costs, eliminated pensions, rising healthcare expenses, and heavier student debt loads at the starting line. Without significant behavioral change, the retirement crisis does not stabilize. It deepens. I want to show you exactly where the money disappears, because understanding the failure points is the only way to avoid them. Failure point 1, starting too late. The single most powerful variable in retirement outcomes is not income. It is time. Someone investing $300 monthly beginning at 25 will accumulate more than someone investing $600 monthly beginning at 45. The early starter has 40 years of compounding. The late starter is chasing. Most people do not invest meaningfully until their mid-30s or 40s. Their 20s disappear into lifestyle costs, debt repayment, and financial education that never arrived. Every year of delay costs exponentially more than the year before, because the earliest contributions produce the largest long-term returns. Failure point 2, the middle decade pause. Many people who do start saving in their 20s stop in their 30s. Children arrive. Mortgages appear. Lifestyle expands. The retirement contribution gets paused temporarily. The pause extends for years. By the time contributions resume, a decade of compound growth has been permanently sacrificed. Failure point 3, cashing out when changing jobs. Studies show roughly 40% of workers withdraw their retirement accounts when leaving an employer rather than rolling them over. A 29-year-old who cashes out $14,000, pays the early withdrawal penalty and taxes, walks away with perhaps $9,500, and loses what that $14,000 would have become over 36 years of growth. At 8% annual returns, that single decision costs over $230,000 at retirement. It feels like a small choice. It is not. Failure point 4, assuming catch-up is possible. Someone who wants $500,000 at retirement and starts at 25 needs to save roughly $285 monthly at 8% returns. Someone starting the same goal at 45 needs approximately $1,200 monthly. Most people cannot quadruple their savings rate in their late 40s. Their expenses have solidified. The assumption that catching up would be easy proves catastrophically wrong. Failure point 5, poor investment allocation. Many workers leave 401k contributions sitting in default money market funds earning 2 to 3% annually. The difference between 3% and 8% returns over 35 years is not marginal. Someone contributing $400 monthly for 35 years at 3% accumulates roughly $295,000. The same contributions at 8% accumulate approximately $870,000. Both people saved identically. One retires with nearly triple the wealth. The investment decision alone created a $575,000 gap. Now I want to show you the other side, because the people who retire comfortably are not dramatically higher earners. They are people who made 5 specific behavioral choices differently. First, they automated before they could spend it. Contributions moved from paycheck to retirement account before they ever touched the money. They built spending habits around what remained. People retiring with $88,000 typically relied on manual saving. They intended to transfer money when they could afford it. They never could. Second, they saved 15 to 20% consistently. Not 5%, not 3%. The difference between a 5% and 15% savings rate over 30 years is the difference between $200,000 and $600,000 or more on identical income. Third, they stayed invested during downturns. They did not sell during crashes. They held diversified portfolios and let time work. Investment behavior matters as much as investment amount. Fourth, they entered retirement without consumer debt. No car payments, no credit card balances, no home equity loans consuming fixed income that should fund living expenses. Fifth, they planned for healthcare. A couple retiring today should expect to spend approximately $315,000 on healthcare throughout retirement. For someone with $88,000 in total savings, healthcare alone could consume the entire balance within a decade. Comfortable retirees funded health savings accounts during working years and researched Medicare options before they needed them. I want to show you what the median retirement actually looks like in daily life. Eleanor retired at 67 with $94,000 in savings and a Social Security benefit of $1,860 monthly. Her husband had passed away 3 years earlier. She lives alone in a small apartment in the city where she raised her family. Her monthly income totals $2,183. Her monthly expenses break down like this: $890 for rent, $290 for Medicare premiums and supplemental coverage, $195 for groceries, $215 for utilities and phone, $130 for transportation, $188 for medications not fully covered by insurance, and $275 for everything else. That math leaves Eleanor with zero margin. Every dollar is allocated before it arrives. Last February, her furnace needed emergency repair. $940. She skipped 2 months of one medication to cover it. When her granddaughter was born, she could not afford to travel to meet her for 4 months. Eleanor is not living in poverty by any official measure. She is living in permanent financial fragility where any unexpected cost creates an immediate crisis. The painful truth is that an additional $150 monthly in savings from age 32 to 67 would have given Eleanor $280,000 instead of $94,000. That difference would have more than doubled her monthly income. But nobody showed Eleanor the math and terms she could act on when it still mattered. The future felt distant. The present felt urgent. The savings never happened. Let me show you the gap in the simplest terms possible. Two people, both earn $55,000 annually their entire careers. Same employer, same 3% employer match. One saves 5% of income, one saves 15%. After 35 years at 8% returns, the 5% saver has approximately $470,000. The 15% saver has approximately $1,080,000. Same income, same employer, same time period. $610,000 difference in outcome. The additional 10% of income the second person saved equals roughly $458 monthly, or about $15 per day. The daily cost of a comfortable versus precarious retirement is approximately the price of a takeout lunch. This is not about dramatic sacrifice. It is about small daily choices compounded across decades. The person who brings lunch and invests the difference is making a retirement decision every single morning. They just do not see it that way in the moment. Let me give you specific steps based on where you are right now. If you are in your 20s or early 30s, you have the most valuable asset available: time. Start contributing immediately. Capture every dollar of employer match. Increase your contribution rate by 1% annually until you reach 15%. Invest in low-cost index funds. Never cash out a retirement account when changing jobs, regardless of how useful the immediate cash feels. If you are in your late 30s or 40s with some savings but behind, increase your savings rate aggressively. Eliminate lifestyle expenses that do not provide genuine value. Once you reach 50, maximize catch-up contributions. Delay retirement if possible. Each additional working year adds savings and reduces the year's retirement must fund. If you are in your 50s with little saved, hard choices become necessary. Saving 20 to 25% of income may be required. Working into your late 60s becomes likely. Downsizing housing deserves serious consideration. Delaying Social Security until 70 increases your monthly benefit by approximately 8% for every year you wait past full retirement age. That guaranteed increase is one of the best risk-free returns available anywhere. One principle applies regardless of your current position. Action today beats perfect action tomorrow. The median retiree did not reach $88,000 through catastrophic decisions. They reached it through delayed decisions. The perpetual, "I'll start next year" became, "I should have started years ago," before they understood what had happened. Here's what I want you to take away from everything I just showed you. The median retirement outcome is not inevitable. It is the result of median behavior. And median behavior is a choice, even when it does not feel like one. The top quartile of retirement savers has over $500,000 accumulated. The top 10% exceeds $1 million. These are not people with dramatically higher incomes. They are people with different financial habits maintained consistently over decades. The gap between $88,000 and $500,000 is not created by income. It is created by consistency, priority, and time. All three remain available to anyone who is not yet retired. Every person watching this faces the same four. Accept the median trajectory and receive the median outcome, or reject it through specific daily behaviors and build a different future. That choice is not made once, it is made every morning. In small decisions that feel insignificant individually and become everything collectively. The morning coffee bought instead of made. The car upgraded instead of maintained. The contribution reduced instead of held. The investment left in cash instead of properly allocated. These choices, repeated thousands of times, become the difference between $88,000 and $500,000. Eleanor did not choose to have $94,000 at retirement. She chose a series of daily behaviors that produced $94,000. Each individual choice seemed reasonable at the time. The cumulative result was not. $88,000 is the cost of default behavior. It does not have to be your number. What you do tomorrow and every day after determines which statistic you become.